It all started in a small apartment in Brooklyn. 6 months ago, I was just like any other person trying to figure out how to get ahead in life. I had a full-time job, a bit of savings, and a dream that had been nagging at me for years. That dream? To start my own business and achieve financial freedom. But, like most people, I had no idea where to begin or what it would take to get there. Little did I know that in just 6 months, would build a business that would generate $1 million in revenue. Looking back, it seems almost surreal. But I didn't get here by chance. It was a combination of the right timing, a clear focus, and, above all, the willingness to put in the work when most people would have given up. Let me take you through the journey of how it all happened, step by step. It all began with a moment of frustration. One night, I was sitting at my desk after work, staring at my computer screen, wondering if this was really what I wanted to be doing for the rest of my life. I had a decent job, sure, but I wasn't fulfilled. I didn't feel like I was making the impact I wanted. I kept thinking to myself, there has to be more to life than this. There's got to be a way for me to build something of my own. That's when I stumbled upon an article about online businesses. It was a casual read at first, but then I began digging deeper into how people were making money online. Some were starting e-commerce stores, others were launching digital products, and some were building software. The more I read, the more excited I became. The idea of running my own business from anywhere, with the potential to scale it, was intoxicating. But there was a problem. I had no experience running a business. No background in tech. No investors backing me up. I didn't have a network full of seasoned entrepreneurs who could mentor me. I was just one person with a computer and a desire to make a change. And yet, that was enough to get started. The first thing I did was look for a problem to solve. That's a crucial lesson I learned early on. Business isn't about selling a product, it's about solving a problem that people are willing to pay for. I didn't want to create something that people didn't need or want. I wanted to find a market gap. Something that would genuinely make people's lives better. After weeks of research, I landed on a niche that I knew had potential, the fitness industry. More specifically, the problem of people not having the time or motivation to stay consistent with their fitness goals. As I dug deeper, I realized that millions of people struggle to stick with a workout routine because they don't have personalized guidance or the accountability they need to push through tough days. So, I decided to launch an online platform that would offer customized workout plans, coaching, and accountability, all in a simple, user-friendly app. It would be like having a personal trainer right in your pocket. Now, here's where the real work began. The first step was creating the app. I didn't have the technical skills to build it myself, so I had to hire a development team. I wasn't in a position to spend a ton of money, so I had to be strategic about how I managed my resources. I found a small but talented development firm that specialized in building apps for startups. I negotiated a fair price, and we got to work. At the same time, I started working on building an audience. I didn't want to launch an app and hope that people would just find it. I needed a customer base ready to go when the app was ready. I turned to social media, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. I began creating content around fitness and motivation. I shared workout tips, success stories, and personal anecdotes about my own struggles with fitness. But there was one thing that made my approach different from the others. Instead of just posting generic fitness content, I focused on creating a community. I didn't want people to just follow me, I wanted them to engage. I asked questions, I hosted live Q&A sessions, and I created a sense of accountability among my followers. I wanted them to feel like they were part of something bigger. Around the 3-month mark, I began seeing results. My social media following had grown significantly, and the engagement on my posts was off the charts. People were reaching out to me, telling me how much my content had helped them. I hadn't even launched the app yet, but I was building a loyal fan base. That's when I hit a major milestone. The app was ready for beta testing. I had a small group of 50 users who had been following me closely and who were eager to try out the app. I gathered feedback, made improvements, and tweaked the features to make the experience as seamless as possible. The beta test was a success. Users loved the app, and more importantly, they found it valuable. It wasn't just a workout app, it was a tool that helped them stay on track, feel supported, and actually achieve their fitness goals. Now came the real test, the official launch. I had no idea what to expect. Could I really take this from an idea to a full-fledged business? I wasn't sure, but I had faith in the product and in the community I had built. I went all in. I ran ads, I promoted it on social media, and I reached out to influencers in the fitness space to help spread the word. And then, something unexpected happened. The sales started rolling in. Within the first week of launch, I had made my first $10,000 in revenue. It wasn't huge, but it was a start. By the end of the first month, I had generated $50,000. And then, by the end of the second month, we hit $200,000. It was happening faster than I could keep up with. The growth was exponential. More and more people were downloading the app, sharing it with their friends, and using it regularly. The testimonials were flooding in, and the word-of-mouth marketing was more powerful than any ad I could have run. At the 6-month mark, I was looking at $1 million in revenue. It didn't happen overnight, but when I looked back at how far I'd come, it felt like a blur. There were long nights, countless challenges, and moments when I thought about giving up. But what kept me going was the belief that I was solving a real problem. People were depending on the app to help them stay healthy, and that was something that mattered. The most important lesson I learned throughout this journey is that success isn't about doing everything perfectly. It's about perseverance, adaptability, and having a vision. When I started, I had no idea how I was going to get there. I didn't know if my app would even work, let alone generate millions of dollars in revenue. But I stayed focused, I kept learning, and I never stopped believing in what I was building. Today, my business continues to grow, and I'm still amazed at what we've achieved in such a short time. I went from a guy with a desk job to running a company with millions of dollars in revenue, all in 6 months. But it wasn't luck. It was a combination of hard work, timing, and being willing to take risks when others wouldn't. If you're thinking about starting your own business, my advice is simple: don't wait for the perfect moment. Start now. Solve a problem. Build something that people need. And keep pushing forward, even when it seems impossible. You never know. Your $1 million business might be just around the corner.